Moving on with the One Missed Call trilogy, I watched One Missed Call 2, which was released in 2005, a couple of years after the original, and jumps straight back into the familiar story that we already knew from the first one. The phone calls, people dying, but this time there's no necessary build up to get to what's actually happening. We're thrown straight into our group of characters, the melodrama that's going to fire the movie forward. We meet all of them. They're the typical kind of people. No one really stands out. It's a horror movie with the bland characters that you're used to, and the situation happens again. A phone rings, our father answers this girl's phone and hears some things going on, and later on he dies. And this becomes the kind of changing crux of this movie. It's not just a case of who gets the phone call, but who answers the phone call. And there's some slight changes that keeps the plot fresh and a little bit different from the first one. And I really kind of appreciated that. And I felt that the movie started really strongly. We're introduced to this murder scene which is a real surprise. You just see the body at the end. You don't see what's happened, and it's almost treated as a kind of twist, which it is, and it's quite interesting. And then we move almost immediately on to a continuation of our last tale. We're reintroduced to the detective for the first movie. He's looking for sweets in the mouth. He's already aware of what's happened and doesn't quite find what he's looking for. It shows all the signs of those murders from the first movie, but things just aren't quite the same. And that's when he is talking to a reporter, and we're introduced to our new character that's going to drive through the movie. Unfortunately, the movie starts to take a detour into a long-winded backstory of why things are happening. And it goes to Taiwan for this research into the possible ghostly figure that's killing everybody. And it does have some fun and interesting moments. There are some particularly wonderful sets. They go to this old mining village that was abandoned a long time ago, and it's such a visceral sight that you just can't take it all in at first. It's these big stone buildings hidden within an almost forest of greenery that's just a stunning visual. Must have been a practical location. Just looks altogether amazing. But the main down point for this movie was that long-winded backstory, that middle part where it really does meander and drag out and doesn't get to the atmosphere, the thrills, the kills, the kind of things that you're expecting. And although this shakes up the first one enough to make it good, it kind of gets hung up on its own changing of the story and the backstory involved in that, and that really kind of detracts from the atmosphere that I was hoping to get. Loved the start of this thing. I felt it just hit the ground running, was really good, and then went into this long kind of diatribe of the backstory of the ghost and the melodrama of the relationships, which really wasn't that interesting. The finale, as you would expect, it becomes really fun, really twisted, and again, there's some nice changes in there. There is some real good throwbacks to the first movie involving where we left a character and some of what's going on there. And I found the One Missed Call 2 to be a decent enough movie, one that I really did enjoy. It's almost as good as the first one, but that long trip to Taiwan really kind of pulls back just a little bit. But still, I was really surprised by the quality. Filmmaking was great, and I was expecting something to be a lot lesser than the first, and I never quite got that. I really kind of enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed seeing the returning characters from the first one. I enjoyed some of the atmosphere that was built up. I liked the twists to the lore that we get this time round, and it had enough visually stunning elements to make it an interesting watch. Really kind of happy with this one. I was expecting there to be a sharp drop off in this series, but not quite hit it. So next up I'm going to be watching One Missed Call 3 Final, and we'll see how this rounds out. But let me know your thoughts on One Missed Call 2 in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.